it's terrifying. And what happens is you don't want to go back in your home. We slept in we had a Blazer at the time, an SUV, and we slept in it for nights on end because we were terrified to go back up into our condo. And I think about that and how crazy it was, all the gas fires that were exploding and erupting, streets that were collapsing, bridges, overpasses, apartment buildings. And so, yeah, you just really feel like the ground should be solid, that should be something that you can hold on to. However, I will tell you this, my biggest fear, and I dream about them all the time, are tornadoes. I don't know why, because you can probably, like I said, at night is a different story, but if it's daytime and you see the direction it's going up, in, I figure, well, you could run away from them.
To a
But
degree,
they
but you can
terrify,
feel them too. The
yeah, they
atmospheric
terrify me.
changes are
I don't think
very.
I ever want to see one. Yeah. They move quick and they're so powerful and they can change direction. And there's just, yeah. I've been in
Sometimes
hurricanes. I've been in I grew up in New York, I've been in blizzards, and I've never been in a tornado. And I have nightmares about them all the time. Very strange.
that is strange. Maybe because you've coped with everything
I
else,
think
that's
they
the one
give
thing you
the
feel like you
impression,
can't.
well, and they give the impression that they're chasing you,
Yes, they do.
So that's scary. It's like, and some of them are what, like a mile wide, and you feel like I can't
Yes.
get away from this thing.
Well, it's really bizarre. And we've gotten several F5s through here,
Oh gosh.
and they
Ugh.
seem to follow the same paths.
Oh,
So
that's
it's odd.
interesting.
I mean, it's really very odd when my aunt, who is 20 something years older than me, was a child. She was at a birthday party as an F5 came through the area that it came through, when my children were teenagers. And because one of their best friends' family's home was hit. And then almost a year later, there was another one, another
Is that like
F5.
Tornado Alley? Would
It's
it
not
be?
supposed to be, the F5s are fairly rare, and they
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
be because they're lethal. But it's just amazing. The one that hit our friend's neighborhood, I had taken mine and gone downstairs, and my husband's standing at the sliding glass door listening, and you could hear it as it was going, because I went back up and said, "You need to come downstairs. This is stupid." And you could hear it going over us.
Oh
And
God.
all it would have taken was it dropping, and we would have been hit too.
Yeah. That's what's
And it
scary.
did
Is
drop
that
again once it got on the other side
right.
of us.
Unpredictability. I will say one interesting thing. So right before an earthquake hits, you hear this sound. It's very quick, but it sounds like an oncoming locomotive. That's the only way you can describe it. And I have been told, and you can tell me if this is true, by people that say tornadoes have that same sound. It sounds
They
like an
do.
oncoming train, a locomotive.
A big one.
Yeah. Ugh, scary.
And that's if it's on the ground.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's if it's on the ground, because I have had them go over me, and you can hear the roar of the wind if it's a big one.
Right.
But the first time that I was ever outside in one, I was with a friend who's a firefighter and medic, and she was like, "I'm going to go outside. I've never seen one forming."
Oh.
And I said, "Well, there's a bathtub right here we can get in." you know?
Oh.
So we're standing out there, and they have these little fire campers that they take to educate kids for their programs and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, and I'm hearing this noise, and it's the size of this Winnebago sucking in and out. And I looked at that, and I looked at her, and I was like, "We've got to go."
Wow.
And she said, "What?" I said, "It's directly over us." And when you looked straight up, you were looking into a funnel. It
Oh
was
God.
forming.
That's like that movie Twister.
Well, it was, I just told her, I said, "You can stay out here all you want to. I'm going in this nice brick home." because
Yeah.
our office
Yeah.
was in a brick
Okay.
house. And
Uh,
craziest woman I've ever seen in my entire life.
that's I love crazy weather. I love watching the Weather Channel, but I don't want to be in it. I want to watch it from a TV screen.
Well, you
But
know
you know
that
what? You got to have respect for Mother Nature, boy. She packs a punch.
she does. You know, we laughingly, bless his heart, we call Jim Cantori the angel of disaster. Because if you're on the coast and he's in your town, you are screwed, baby.
Oh, how funny.
And he knows it. Yeah, they made all those Weather Channel commercials of him walking up to the pool and people run screaming and stuff.
Yep. Oh no, the doom bringer.
Yes, the harbinger of doom.
Yep.
But, you know, you cover other stuff besides these just natural disasters in your book, though. You know, and I actually, excuse me, I love that you have create your own personal disaster plan. And,
Yeah.
you need to know what skills you need to know the tools you need, and the different items. And this book is lists, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to give everybody as much information as possible,
It's
in
a big
one
deal.
place. Well, what's interesting is I would say 99.9% of the people that I know don't have an emergency kit, either, emergency food and water and medical stuff
I
for their
know.
homes,
How can you?
or
But I've got
something
to
to
stop
mess
you
it up.
because
Yeah.
we're late for a break.
Oh,
Ah,
wow. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I don't know where this time goes, but we will be back in just a few, guys. Bear with us. And just like that, ta-da, we're back. And it is 24 after the hour. Thank you for being with us. I am so sorry, Marie, that I cut you off like that.
No, no, no. Don't apologize. Time is just whizzing by. It's crazy.
I know. But that just means we're having a good time, right?
It is. Absolutely.
So it's a good thing. But
Yep.
when we were talking about the tools and the skills that you need for your disaster bag, and how it's just crazy that people that live in environments prone to disasters wouldn't have one.
Yeah, yeah.
You you also cover things like, you know, snake bites and bee stings and regular fires and,
You
you know,
kitchen fires, yeah, chemical leaks. Well, you know what? The most emergencies that are going to happen are going to be those little ones that occur in your home, or like your kids are riding their bikes and they break their leg. So, yeah, there's the bigger disasters and the bigger emergencies that we all face. And then there are really big ones too, like nuclear war or an asteroid impact. But the everyday things I found that I didn't even know, with all the training that I've had, I lacked a lot of education on, what if a bee stings someone that I'm with and they don't have an EpiPen, but they're allergic to just those little things, or how to identify snake bites, or what do you do if a dog attacks you? So I really wanted to include all of the things that can happen in the home and in your general everyday life, as well as the bigger things. And what's really interesting is that a lot of this is just common sense.
mm-hmm, it is.
And especially with the bigger emergencies, like knowing where how to get out of your town if you need to evacuate. I'm shocked at how many people don't know how many different routes they could take to get out if they were told you need to leave now. Knowing what to take.
Having a meetup place with your family members.
Absolutely. Yeah. How are you going to connect with family? Do you guys have an out-of-town contact, or are you all going to text? What if the phones are down? Oh my gosh, the cell phones are down. What are you going to do? So, yeah, and a lot of this I really wanted to learn, not just for myself, but, when I was raising my son, he spent a lot of years in a wheelchair or walkers and braces, and I always felt really vulnerable. Like, oh my gosh, if something happens, I need to know what to do, and I need to know how I can take care of me and him. I need to know how to shelter in place if we can't get out. All of those questions that come up. So and when I'm asked to write a book, I really do try to, if somebody's going to pay money to buy a book of mine, I really want them to get as much, information as they can in one book, so they don't have to go buy 20 others.
Well, I'm going to tell you that I actually purchased the hard copy of this book. I got the...
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because when I read it on my Kindle, I thought, what if the internet goes down?
Yeah.
I'm going to need this information.
Yeah. Because, and if something happens, you could always go look it up, look at the index. Oh, bee sting. Okay, page whatever. And it's like a really good resource. And I really wrote it for me as much as I did for everybody else.
Well, I carry a snake bite kit in my car because I like to hike.
Oh, you guys probably have.
We have rattlesnakes. We have rattlesnakes. We have copperheads. We have cottonmouths. We have we have everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And I am terrible. I cannot. All those pictures that they show you with, can you find the copperhead in this picture? Yeah. I can never find it.
And you're in a panic and you're terrified.
Yeah, and the last thing you want to do is run. Yeah. Because you'll spread the venom.
Exactly.
So I actually bought snake bite kits, and I keep them in a backpack, and I keep one in my car because in case I'm in the woods, and I just, because I'm terrified of them, I can't even touch pictures of them. It's my phobia. The only thing that scares me like that. But it does.
Smart to do, though, is to have whatever is like in your region or your locality. Okay, well, we have a lot of snakes. Let me get a snake kit. We have a lot of fires. Let me, do this or that. We have a lot of wild dogs. Whatever it is in your area, there are specific things that anybody can do or have with them. But then always, and I still don't see enough people doing this, is just to have that little first aid kit in the car, have one at home, but you also need to have one in the car because we all spend a lot of time in our cars. We need
Yes.
water. We need food.